Thank you for tuning in to the best parenting show on the internet, Post Daily Dose.
It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post. It's the Post. The Post Daily Dose. It's the Post. It's the Post.
Hey, good evening, Facebook family. Welcome to another episode of Post Daily Dose with me, your trusted parenting advisor, faithful guide and servant on the healing journey. What's my name? Big Papa Bryan+Post. Hope everyone is doing fantastic on this manic Monday. As you can see, I am in full-on fall festivities. The leaves are falling around my face, and it's looking like Thanksgiving as I talk to you guys right now. Just thought I'd do something a little goofy with the whole mask thing. It's just like, why not? So I'm coming down off of the mountaintop, Mattole, California. Actually, we went up there on Friday and spent Friday afternoon, evening, all day Saturday, and half a day Sunday with some beautiful families doing some really hard work. And my staff, my team, doing up there with them. Hey, good evening, Brian and Kendra. Hello, Rose. And it was a great healing time, and I think everyone's pretty tired. I'm actually pretty tired, but I have a lecture to give tonight in Crescent City at 5:30. So going to be getting ready for that. So I thought I'd give you guys something light this evening for Monday, a little light viewing, how to most effectively do time in. And I started talking about doing time in instead of doing time out 20 years ago. And it just kind of came to me really is when I was working at I was running a residential facility in Canada, and was working with one of the little FASD boys, and he was acting out at a playground one day, and I remember calling his name, and he was known for running away, and he was, he moved to the other side of the playground. And he was pacing like he was going to run. And of course, I don't believe in chasing kids. So I stayed where I was. And he kept looking at me, and he's walking around. I knew he wanted to take off. He was walking around, but I wasn't increasing the threat. And so what happened is that as he kept looking at me, and I kept looking at him, smiling, and I'd wave. And after I did that a few times, I just did this and waved him over to me. And sooner than later, he actually started walking back towards me. And he was kicking sand, and he was cussing the whole way through the other little kids as he came over beside me. And I said, buddy, I'm sorry I put you in a position to feel so stressed. I just need you to hang out here with me for a little bit. You're not in any trouble. I just want to make sure you're feeling okay. And he sat there beside me, and he sat there and started talking, and we were just chatting. And I said, if you want to go back and play, you can. He said, no, I'm good. And he sat there literally for probably the better part of 15 minutes until it was time for us to go. This is an 8-year-old kid. His name was Tyler at the time. And so as we were walking away, I just said to him again, I said, I'm sorry for setting you up to get so stressed. And he said, oh, it's okay. I forgive you, which was pretty cool. But it just made me think that instead of doing time out with kids, what they need most effectively is time in. And it's funny that we still are doing, therapists are still recommending things like 1, 2, 3 magic. What time in does for a child, and there's a couple ways that hey there, Lisa, there's a couple ways that you can engage. So not all children will come over and sit beside you, right? Not all children will come in the kitchen and help you with the dishes or help you cook or set the table. Those are all ways you can do time in. Having a child come and fold the clothes with you, have them go for a walk with you. That's all time in. The essence of time in is that you are using your adult regulated ability to regulate your child's brain. And the reason they are acting out is because they're stressed out. And I can't underscore that enough. The reason a child is acting out is because he's stressed out. If he's stressed out and he's acting out, that means he's gone outside of his window of tolerance for his ability to regulate his emotions. So it's almost a perfectly acceptable pattern when you look at it as going outside of your ability to regulate yourself. And when we give children time out, which is a form of isolation, it is expecting them to self-regulate. Well, the reason they're in the position that they're in to begin with is because they can't effectively self-regulate. It's our responsibility. Oh, these leaves are really falling, aren't they? It's our responsibility to help the children, and I don't know how to even get this thing off anymore. It's our, let me see. Oh, I don't want to mess up anything. Oh, now I can switch. Oh, let's switch to this one. Hey, there we go. I like that one too. Ooh, that's kind of sexy. It's our responsibility to help our children self-regulate. So important. And oh, you guys like Big Papa looks pretty with a little lipstick on. So when you bring a child in, you are essentially helping them to connect to you and helping them to settle down through your vibration. That's why it's really important to calm yourself down. You calm yourself down and don't get too worked up. You bring them in close to you. And I've never set a time frame. I've always said, you know, practice time in according to what the child needs. So if the child is still stressed, then they stay with you. If the child is feeling better and they've regulated, then you can have them go and, you know, go continue doing what it was that they were doing to begin with. Now, what if a child doesn't want to come over to you? That's why I started with the story with Tyler. You don't have to force it. See, you focusing and making your presence obvious to that child doesn't require you to have to actually physically go have them stand beside you or you stand beside them. Just knowing that I am looking at you, knowing that I am thinking about you, knowing that I am focused on you is automatically regulating you if I'm regulating myself. So I could have you all the way across the room and you may not want to come over there and hang out with me, but I'm going to keep looking at you and I'm going to keep smiling at you when you look up at me, because it's going to be unavoidable, until you regulate enough that I can kind of wave you over and you come over and you sit beside me. Then we get even deeper into the regulatory relationship, because then I'm close to you. Maybe I can put my arm around you. Now I'm eliciting oxytocin. And so time in doesn't have a set formula. It's all according to what your child needs in that moment. But you do time in instead of time out, because time out is just working against you and your child. So I hope that's helpful. I'm going to chill out for just a little bit before I got to go do this talk. I actually might try to stream it live. We'll see what the Wi-Fi setup is. And you guys might see me back on here in a little bit. So remember, in any given situation, we always have two choices. We can continue to react from the same blueprints and imprints of stress, fear, and overwhelm, or we can stop, we can slow down, we can take 3 to 10 deep breaths, and we can choose love. Big Papa loves you. God bless each and every one of you. Might see you later on here in a bit. And if not, I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, everyone.